Welcome to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and my friends, as we approach the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal trailer, there are many questions that we all have, right? What will it look like? How much will it cost? What will it look like? And so with this, there's one part of the conversation I have yet to approach on this channel in regards to Nintendo Switch 2. And I'm talking about the actual UI, the user interface, what you see when you first turn on your Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever console you turn on, right? So let's go ahead and discover that today. Let's talk about that because there's a big possibility that we might see a brand new overhaul of the entire Nintendo UI. Now, if you are new here, welcome. Check this 60-second clip out. If not, go ahead and use the timestamp below to skip through to the main topic. Hello and welcome to the Mike Odyssey channel. I am so glad you're here. You made it to your home for Nintendo news, product insights, reviews, and our fun-filled Nintopics Podcast live every Friday. We're all about creating a community that shares the love of gaming, and we do it Monday through Friday every week. On a personal note, I am legally blind and slowly losing my sight due to advanced keratoconus and tooth transplant, but that does not stop me from sharing my passion in gaming with you. In fact, it's made me a stronger advocate for disabilities. My daughter, who has autism, is also a constant source of inspiration for me. I share this not to guilt you into subscribing, but to show you that despite our challenges, we can still share common passions and create a supportive and united community. Here we celebrate diversity and unity, and we believe that everyone should have the opportunity to enjoy the magic of gaming. So if you are excited about video games, interested in united gaming, or just want to be a part of a community that celebrates diversity, hit that subscribe button and join the Odyssey. Let's embark on this journey together. Thank you for your support. Every single Nintendo has had its different user interface. And you might say, but Mike, wait, I don't think the Nintendo Entertainment System or even the Super Nintendo or even the Nintendo 64 had a user interface. Well, it actually did. It was just more mechanical and on the outside rather than the inside, right? When you push that power button on the NES, or you just kind of adjust like the power slot on the Super Nintendo, or push the button also on the 64, that was all part of the UI. It was just more external and mechanical. Until we got to the GameCube, where we finally saw the first ever UI, and it was very basic. It was just like a little disc kind of spinning and then reading the disc, and that was basically it, right? And then you got a memory card one or music playing one or something like that. But that was the beginning of the UI experience, right? What you see when you turn on the system, how it's kind of all separated for you to make it easier for you to find things and to play, right? The very first UI we kind of fell in love with came with the Nintendo Wii, where we saw this interface where we had these little slots, kind of like apps, right? And then we can download apps and we can download games and we can even order food through the actual UI to the user interface. And so that made it so much more immersive for us, whether with the addition of the Mii's and just this overall kind of experience, right? It's all part of the user interface, what kind of grants you that awesome experience. And even the music, right? That this nostalgic music now from the Wii, from the Wii U and stuff like that, it just made it so much better. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have the same experience in the mobile area, right? I didn't play too much mobile games due to my sight because I couldn't see the little screen, but every one of them had their own little music, their own little user interface, and the way you kind of interacted with the apps and your games, right? And now with the Nintendo Switch 2, we're expecting another update into that. Nintendo took a step back with the UI with the Nintendo Switch, and they kind of went very basic, right? They just kind of gave us these square apps looking thing on our screen. There was no background music. There was really nothing special about the actual UI, the interface. You know, there was like no wallpapers. It was just like apps, like square things, right? And then at the end, later on, they kind of help us get some little folders towards the end, and you know, it is what it is. Nintendo just went basic with the Nintendo Switch, and well, we expect something new from the Nintendo Switch 2 because there are so many features and so many things that people miss right? Like the Miiverse, right? That was just very, very cool. You design your own Mii. You can kind of interact with other Miis within the actual little Miiverse, or I was going to say Mii universe, but the same thing. And so the music that when you turn on your Nintendo Switch or the system, you're laid on idle, and then that music is playing in the background as part of the user interface where you find things, folders, and a lot of other things, right? And so with this, we have the question of how will the UI for the Nintendo Switch 2 will look like. Will Nintendo kind of keep the same thing as they did with the Nintendo Switch, knowing that maybe for some the UI is not as important, although we would love to have it, it's not really necessary, because it does take some space on your Nintendo Switch, right? It takes some memory and some storage, and maybe Nintendo made the Nintendo Switch UI that simple so that it at least can allow more power, more space to be used for the actual game playing, which is the most important part, right? And so I believe that that's the approach that Nintendo went with, because there is evidence that suggests that there was a different UI for the Nintendo Switch. There was a background music that could have been so nostalgic now, and there was more. But Nintendo went ahead and teared it down and simplified it and made the UI that we know and kind of are used to, I want to say love, but are used to today. And so what I want to see for the next UI for the Nintendo Switch, I do want to see background music added. I love background music, and I want to get more options. Instead of just that one song playing in the background, I want to get more options, and maybe background music inspired by first-party games, like a little theme from The Legend of Zelda, like a little theme from Mario, a little theme from Splatoon, from Pokemon, something that really inspires you and kind of helps you make it your own system, more customizability, if that's the word. And so with that, I would love to see the addition of you having to add your own music, maybe provided by Nintendo, yeah, but still you have the option of adding music from any type of game you like. Maybe this could be something that you get with points, because Nintendo does have in place a very good reward system. It's great. It's one of the best out there, with the silver coins and the gold coins you can actually use to redeem games. And so maybe you can also use this to redeem music for your background, right? Another thing I would like to see is a more customizable user interface, like the wallpaper, right? So let's say you buy a digital game or you buy a game. This game comes with its own wallpaper you can actually use to make as a background for your home screen, right? Or you can also redeem some points and get some more on Nintendo Switch Online, which will also be awesome. So aside from the music, atmosphere. Atmosphere is the actual word that I want to use. When you turn on your Switch and you made it your own, maybe you have this Breath of the Wild just landscape there, or you have a Splatoon colorful background, or you have a Super Mario level right there on the back, something that you can use to just create that atmosphere. Maybe you can take a snapshot, a screenshot within your game, and then use that as the background for your Nintendo Switch user interface, right? Those are all very good features that I believe could enhance your experience with the UI. Although we don't spend that much time on the UI, we spend more time playing games, but this would actually enhance this. And I do believe that, I know by having all this, it's more memory taken, more storage taken, but I believe that Nintendo could kind of maybe allocate some memory, its own storage, just for the UI, right? It's not kind of sharing the same memory and the same storage from the game side. Maybe just have a little separate hard drive or a little drive that kind of takes care of that part, just the UI experience, right? Two separate little computers inside, one for the UI and one for the overall experience of gaming. And so with Nintendo Switch 2, I hope that we see that. I hope that we get not only background music, I hope we get more customizability with the actual the wallpapers, maybe different types of icons for your Nintendo Switch games. That way you can actually organize them like you organize apps on your phone. You can actually have folders. And so right off the bat, you can have folders on the home screen, ones for different types of games that you've been playing by genre or maybe by recency. So if you, let's say you turn on your Nintendo Switch, you have a folder that says recent games, you can go onto there and find a list of your recent games. Maybe you see games that are platformers, you have a platformer there, you enter that little kind of folder and then get all your platformers in one area, right? And so on, third-party games, just like that. And so that will be one of the things that I would love to see for the Nintendo, more customization for the user interface. And another part of the user interface is, oh man, the eShop. The eShop literally really needs an upgrade. Not an upgrade, they need to tear it down, they need to break it, they need to burn it, put it in the furnace, and start over, build it from the scratch up and make it work. I mean, make it work, because it's one of the worst parts, one of the worst experiences in Nintendo Switch, right? The system is awesome. It's a hybrid system you can take with you on the go, and you can also, use it on dock mode, and you have this amazing hybrid console with your favorite games. But when it comes to purchasing your digital games, when it comes to attending the eShop, that is just, man, it's horrible. Sometimes it crashes, sometimes it freezes, takes forever to load. The organization on the actual eShop, the games you find are very questionable. I mean, there's so many things that could be done for the eShop to improve. One of them has to do with the overall functionality of the eShop. Make it smoother, make it buttery crisp, and just make it work, right? Another thing is the organization, right? Don't put games that are for adults right in the front screen when you're searching. Make sure that you have some kind of filter, right? Filter to, you can block half of the games that you don't want to see on your screen. Have a recommendation part, right? Maybe when you are actually signing up for your Nintendo Switch at the beginning, right? When you actually enter your Switch, you sign up with your Nintendo account, you can ask or answer some questions or select some options that will actually kind of make the eShop more personal to you. For example, your age, what type of games you play, the rating of the games you're used to, multiplayer, platformers, and so on. And therefore, when you go to the eShop, all this information is transmitted there, and it gives you a personal experience, and you can actually enjoy it because it's made for you. The games that you would see on the eShop recommended to you are games you would actually buy instead of just having random stuff thrown at you, right? And it makes it so hard to find newer games, especially indie games that might come across that you might love, right? And so one of the things that Nintendo has to do is that they need to work on the eShop, make it so much better, and just improve the overall functionality and make it usable for fans, make it usable for us, right? All these little knickknacks and little suggestions that I just made for that eShop is something that we desperately need. And so I think with that, it covers the entire UI for the Nintendo, the actual overall experience for Switch. Customizing the home UI with the apps, the music, the background, the wallpapers, and NSO, right? NSO is also part of the UI. Just improve that, improve the Nintendo Switch Online, improve the eShop, and make all those changes. But I want to know from you guys, what is the biggest change you want to see? What is it? And if I mentioned anything that you actually like, let me know down below. How would you actually make that better? All right, friends, that is going to do it for today's video. Tomorrow I'll be discussing other little tweaks here on Nintendo Switch 2, so stay tuned, subscribe for that, and I'll see you in the next adventure here at the Odyssey. But before, I'll let you go. Never give up and journey on. Peace.